In Module 2 of Chapter 21, we're now going to generalize some of the tools from Module 1 for differential equations where there was no uncertainty and to apply them in the context of differential equations relating to stochastic processes. And in the meantime, we'll derive the Black-Scholes differential equation. So what we're going to do is to attempt to create a riskless hedge for an option position by trading in shares and bonds. So we're going to assume that our stock price is geometric Brownian motion. This structure should be quite familiar to you at this point. Alpha is the total return, delta is the dividend return, and sigma is our vol. It's geometric Brownian motion. And now what we're going to do is create a portfolio, and there are many ways of deriving the Black-Scholes differential equation. One is to create a portfolio which is the option plus a certain number of stock and show that it's a T-bill. And this approach uses the same idea but actually includes the T-bill in the portfolio. So what we're going to do is create a portfolio of options, stocks, and T-bills. And we want this portfolio to have two properties. Number one, it won't cost us anything at the start. And number two, we want it to be riskless. And that will be, in a sense, the replicating portfolio. So again, we'll create a portfolio of the option and then some number of shares, some amount of T-bills. We have two things to determine: how many shares, how many T-bills, and those two determinations will be made in achieving the objective of having this portfolio cost us nothing at time zero. That's where the T-bills will come in. And then secondly, it'll be riskless. That's where the number of shares will come in. So to remind us that if we have a risk-free asset, it has a very simple differential. There's no DZ term by definition. Risk-free means that the stochastic process associated with the asset has only a drift term. It has no DZ term. So we can certainly, for our T-bill, write down the differential for it. And we now have a portfolio I, which we're going to define as the option, N stocks, N is going to be determined, and an amount W in risk-free bonds, and W is to be determined. So the total investment is this many dollars. It's a one option, N shares, and W in T-bills. So we can certainly evaluate W. That's one of our parameters. We'll fix W so that I is initially 0. We can create this portfolio with no out-of-pocket cost.